In this tutorial, we will learn how we can create a Streamlit application to chat with our Gemini Pro model. So here is the quick demo of how our application works. So first of all, here we will enter the Gemini API key. So in the later part of the code, I will explain you how you can create your own Gemini API key. So first of all, I will enter the Gemini API key and press enter from here. So now you can see, first of all, I will just write hi. So it's thinking and it will generate a response now. Hello, how I can assist you today? So I will now ask a question. Who won the Cricket World Cup 2019? So now you can also see it also keep track of the conversation as well, like chat history as well. Like you can see this is my previous message and this is my current message. So England won the Cricket World Cup 2019, defeating New Zealand in a thrilling final at Lord's Cricket Ground. So let's see if it has a memory component as well or not. So I will just write who was the captain of the team. So now I'm not mentioning uh, that who was the captain of the team who won the Cricket World Cup 2019. I'm just asking who was the captain of the team. So let's see whether our Gemini Pro model has the memory component or not. So now you can see here the response. Ian Morgan was the captain of the England team that won the Cricket World Cup 2019. So now you can see we are keeping the track of the chat as well. Plus we have also added the memory component as well. So now you can see that Ian Morgan was the captain of the England cricket team that won the World Cup, Cricket World Cup 2019. So it has a memory component as well. So this is the demo of the application that we are creating. Plus you can see over here, we have a clear chat window as well. So if I just click over here, all the previous chat history will be removed and we can just start a new chat by just writing hi over here. So like this. So we have the clear chat window. If we just click on this video, all the previous chat history gets deleted. So let's create this application now. So now you can see over here in my PyCharm IDE, I've created a new project by the name Streamlit App Gemini Pro R. So first of all, I will just create a requirements.txt file in which I will just write all the required libraries that are required in this project. So requirements.txt. And as we are creating a Streamlit application, so we require the Streamlit package. And we also require, and the second package which we require is Google dash generative AI. So these are the two packages which are required. So let's install these packages. So I will just click over here, terminal, and we can simply write pip install -r requirements .txt. So these two libraries will get installed. And the first one is a Streamlit library because we are creating a Streamlit application. And the second one is Google Dash Generative AI because we are installing this package so that we can access the Gemini Pro model. So I think, okay, requirement spellings are not correct. So we can just do over here, instead of just updating it, let's update the name over here. So let's see if it works or not. So now you can see that both of these packages are now getting installed. So you can just correct the name of the requirements.txt file. And this is not an issue as well. So now these packages are getting installed. So this might take few more minutes. So in the meanwhile, we can just create a simple main.py file where we will be writing all the code. So in the meanwhile, these packages get installed, we can simply write here, we can import all the required libraries first. So we can simply write import Streamlit as st, then import google.generative AI as gen AI. Then we can import that time library. Then we can import random. So these are all the libraries which we require in this project. Next, what we can do is we can add a title to our page. So I will just write set dot page that config. Okay, so here we will have set dash. So the title of the page will be chat with Gemini Pro. So this will be the title of the page. And we can also add a page icon as well. So it looks fine now. So now the title of the application that will appear in the browser, Gemini Pro. And we can also add a caption below the title as well. A chatbot powered by Google Gemini Pro. So this is the caption which we have added. So it looks quite fine now. So the next we will ask the user to enter their API key. So let me show you how you can create your own API key. Can go to console.cloud.google.com and here you can just create credentials. Then you can click on creating API key from here. And you can see that your API key is created, but you need to make few changes. From here, you just need to click on the API key and from there, you will just click on restrict key and from here, you will select generative language API and now you will click on save. So now it is ready so that now you can use that API key in your applications as well. Okay. So in this way, you can create your Gemini API key. So we are back into our code. So now over here, I will just write if app dash key not in st dot session that state. So if the user has not passed the API key, we will ask the user to pass their Gemini API key. So here we will just write st.text-input so the user can input the Gemini API key. So here we write, please enter your Gemini API key. And as you know, the API key is in the form of a password. So we can simply write the type over here as well. So the type will be password. So it looks good. One thing we can make is, oh, that's just fine as well. So if the user passes the API key, we can write, okay, so if the user passes the API key, then the API key will be stored in the session state. And then we also need to keep track of our conversation with the Gemini Pro model as well. So we can write if history not in. Next, what we will do is we will pass the Gemini API key to our generative AI model. So we'll just write configure API key st.session.API key. Okay, so that's look good. Then we will just write accept attribute error as E. So if the user doesn't enter the API key, we will also add a warning. So for warning, we'll just write st.warning. And in the warning, we'll ask, please put your Gemini API key first. Plus, we will be using the Google Gemini Pro model. So to assess the model, we can simply write Google Generative AI.generative model, and we want to assess the Gemini Pro model. And we also want to keep the track of the previous chat conversation as well. So we'll just write history is equal to history, so that we can keep track of the previous conversation as well. So now we will create a sidebar where we will have an button like in the sidebar, we will have a clear chat window button. Like I told you in the demo, if we click on this button, all the chat will be treated and you can start a new chat. We can write clear chat window, whose dash container dash width. Type is primary. So that looks fine. So if the user clicks on the clear chat window button, all the previous chat conversation will be deleted or all the previous chat history will be deleted. So that looks up good as well. Then we will write for message in chat.history. Role is equal to assistant. So we want to have a conversation like assistant and user. Like I am a user, I will ask a question, and Gemini Pro model is will act as an assistant and it will generate a response. So if message.role is equal to model, else message.role. Okay, so that's look quite good. So if the user passes the API key, then if the user passes the API key, then we will allow the user to pass an input prompt of the text or the question he wants to ask. We can also update the prompt a bit as well. So we'll add a markdown with the prompt as well. So I have asked a question as a user. So now the Gemini Pro model will act as an assistant and it will generate a response. So let's write up the code for the assistant with st.chat dash message assistant. So in the meanwhile, the Gemini Pro model generates a response. We will add it like it's currently thinking. So we will add a markdown while the Gemini Pro model generates a response of thinking. Now we'll just write try. So in the meanwhile, we are adding a markdown thinking. The Gemini Pro model will generate a response. So we'll just pass the input prompt over here and we will just set the stream as true. That looks good. We'll also add a word count over here as well. So now we will use the full response. We'll add the word count here as well. Now we are just adding our the text we get. And here we will do the word count. So if the word count becomes equal to rand in, then we will add the time to sleep. So here we will add the full response. And we will also add a placeholder with the response as well. Now we have added a try term. Now we'll add an accept term here as well. So now we have just written all of our code. So it looks quite good. So now it's time to test it out and let's see what error is appearing over here. Okay, I just found it out. Okay, so now it looks fine. So let's now just run this application and see how does it work. So I will just write streamlit run main.py and let's run this. So now I will just click over this link and let me redirect to the Streamlit application, which we have created now. So here I will just input my API key and click on enter. So now I will just ask a question, hi, and let me, who won the last football World Cup? So I'm just asking question, who won the last football World Cup? Argentina won the last football World Cup, which was held in Qatar 2022. Who was the captain of the team? Lionel Messi was the captain of the Argentine team that won the World Cup 2022. So here you can see if we just click on this button, all the previous chat is deleted and I can just start a new chat. So now in this tutorial, we have seen that how we can create a Streamlit application to chat with our Gemini Pro model. So that's all from this tutorial. Thank you for watching.